This is one of my favorite personal stories, since everything turned out all right. But I still get chills thinking about how many different ways the night could have gone wrong. A few years ago, my friend Jane and I took a trip to Portland, Oregon. We're both from the south side of Chicago, and Jane was feeling pretty jaded with the city. She was convinced everything was better on the West Coast, including the people. So we flew out to Portland and rented a car, which we named Veronica. The day before we were supposed to fly back home, we took Veronica and drove up to Aberdeen, Washington, to see Kurt Cobain's childhood home. After that, we drove down the coast, sightseeing along the way. We visited Astoria, Oregon to see the house from the Goonies, and ended the day at Cannon Beach to check out Haystack Rock. All in all, it was a pretty nice day. Once it started to get dark, we decided to head back to our hotel, which is just under 2 hours away. I knew that I needed gas, so I told Jane I would stop at the first gas station I find. Cannon Beach is a small resort-type town. A lot of little shops and restaurants, but I didn't see any gas stations. Being from the city, I'm used to seeing two on every corner, so I wasn't really worried. I expected to find one soon. I'm completely unfamiliar with the area, so I just keep following the GPS's instructions while talking to Jane. Next thing I know, we're not in any type of town. We're on a dark, winding road surrounded by trees. At this point, I'm getting a little worried. I pull over to the side of the road to use the GPS to search for the nearest gas station. It tells me there's one about a mile down the road. Awesome. I'll get some gas and we'll be set. So I'm driving and Veronica tells us that we've arrived at our destination. I pull into a completely dark and empty gas station. We're still surrounded by woods and darkness. As far as I can tell, there's nothing around for miles. According to Veronica, we have about 10 miles worth of gas left, and the nearest gas station is 30 miles away. Jane and I are sitting there trying to figure out what to do when another car pulls in. I keep going about my business and don't really pay attention to the other car. I just assume they need gas too. Out of the corner of my eye, I see someone gesturing to me. After some hesitation, I crack the window to see what they want. There's a middle-aged man and his wife in the car. He starts asking all kinds of questions. Need to fill up? Coming from the beach? Driving back to Portland? I keep my answers polite but short. Then he tells us that he actually owns the gas station we're at, but doesn't make enough money to keep it open that late. He tells us that he knows of a Chevron about 3 miles away and gives us directions to it. He gave us his number and says to give him a call in case we don't make it to the Chevron. My name is Sam, the mechanic man. Let me know if you don't make it, and I'll come rescue you, ladies. We thank him profusely and head out. Jane is going on and on about how nice that was, and how that never would have happened in Chicago. I agreed. That was very nice, if odd of him. Strange that he happened to be driving past his own gas station at the same time we pulled in, but whatever. I make a joke about him calling his buddy at the gas station, saying, "I'm sending 2 women your way." We make it to the Chevron, and this kid, 18 or 19 years old, comes out to pump our gas. He asks us what we're doing, then says, "There's a lot of weirdos out here tonight." Jane and I look at each other and let out a small laugh and say, "Ha, I told you." Turn back to the kid and ask him what he means. He tells me this story how his brother owes some drug dealer a ton of money, and how he's hiding somewhere nearby. He's planning on kicking the shit out of him once he gets off his shift. I can tell Jane is getting uncomfortable with the building weirdness of the night, so I give the kid a good tip, wish him luck, and start driving again. A few minutes later, we're on the highway, and about 10 minutes from our hotel. Jane's phone rings, and it's Sam. Again, she thanks him profusely, He asks where we're from and when we're flying home. He tells her his name is Sam Glusty, and he wrote a book called Wrongfully Accused. We should read it on our plane ride home. This piqued my interest. Jane, you have to look up that book to see what it's about. She Googles it. Then she goes limp and looks like she's going to puke. What is it? He was accused of being the Green River Killer. Immediately she starts freaking out. He has my number now. Back at the hotel, we do some more digging. Apparently, a victim of the Green River serial killer picked Sam out of a lineup. However, the real killer was caught and convicted based on DNA evidence. But around the same time in the 70s, Sam was convicted and served time for abducting and assaulting a young woman in the area we were in. The book he wrote was about all of that. We ended up stuck in Portland for 2 more days due to a snowstorm in Chicago. It was a weird, tension-filled 2 days. Considering the circumstances and weirdness of that night, things could have gone horribly wrong. I'm glad all I got out of that night was a story. Thanks for listening, guys. I haven't made a video since May of 2017, so I wanted to record a quick short story so I could at least get some content up for you guys. So be sure to subscribe, like, share, and join the Sinful Society. Stay sinful.